Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Surujan. I am a practicing cosmetic dentist and your mentor for the day. And I am back with another topic, a very important one. And the topic which we are going to learn today is wedges. So today I am basically going to further describe this topic or, help you simplify this topic from this amazing book of Mind Maps and Notes by Medi. So this book is a must have. I have said it a million times and I say it again. Go ahead, get it from Amazon, Flipkart, Dental Cart, or directly from the official Medi website. Now, it is possible that you might be wondering that, I'm not very sure that which book I should buy first. I am good with this subject. I'm not that good with this subject. So we are here to, help you tackle these doubts of yours. You can contact us on WhatsApp. Our team will be super happy to help you out, and you'll just reach your decision faster about which book is best for you. So this diagram here shows what a wooden and plastic wedge looks like. So on the top what we have is a wooden wedge. As we studied, this is going to swell and properly adapt between the tooth structure in the interproximal architecture, and the one on the bottom is a plastic wedge which is going to be light transmitting. So this is going to be very useful during composite curing. So let us go ahead and start with this topic. So the first thing which we are going to learn is the definition. And as it says here, a dental wedge is a small triangular or trapezoidal piece of wood or plastic used to separate teeth or apply pressure to a matrix band during tooth restoration. Now this, according to the cross section, this can be triangular, this can be trapezoidal. You're going to understand this more in detail. So there's a classification of wedges. Now it can be classified on the basis of shape. This can be round, the cross section can be round, or it can be triangular. Now the second classification is on the basis of the nature of the wedge. So the first, it can be wooden, it can be a plastic wedge, or it can be a metallic wedge. So when we learn or when we see wooden wedge, this is usually the most preferred, especially for posterior teeth, the molars and everything, because the wooden wedge is going to swell when it comes in contact with moisture. Now when it swells, if there is any gap between the tooth and the wedge, it is going to get filled up perfectly. That's why this is one of the best one of the most preferred methods. After that we have plastic wedge. Now plastic, this is basically a light transmitting wedge. This is translucent to transparent, so this is really helpful during composite restorations because the curing light gets passed through it, and you're just 100% sure that each and every atom of your composite is cured. And now let us go through the wedging techniques. So there are 4 basic wedging techniques: single wedging, double wedging, wedge wedging, and piggyback wedging. So before we go through all of these texts, I am going to quickly simplify this for you with the help of diagrams. So the first one we have is single wedging, where a single wedge is inserted usually from the lingual aspect towards the buccal aspect. This is mostly used or most commonly used method. Other than that, second we have a double wedging method, where 2 wedges are inserted, one from the lingual to buccal and other from the buccal to lingual, as I have showed here with the help of these arrows. Now double wedging is usually preferred whenever we have a wide contact, when there's more than normal gap between 2 teeth. One wedge can not be sufficient always, so that is when we use double wedging technique. After that we have wedge wedging. Here what happens is like the usuals, we place one wedge from lingual to buccal and the other wedge is placed at a right angle right over here. Okay, now this is mostly used for maxillary premolars, and we are going to understand the details when we read the text. I just want you to quickly, just understand what is the orientation or insertion path of wedges. And last here we have is piggyback wedging. Now what happens here is, again, there are two wedges which are inserted. There's a bigger wedge and there's a smaller wedge. So the bigger wedge is inserted first, and on top of that we insert a smaller wedge. Now this can be used when the interproximal architecture is more wide or more triangular, or if there's a recession or something like that. So let us go through the text. Single wedging is routinely used, as we discussed. Double wedging, one from buccal and one from lingual, used for wide contacts. Wedge wedging, one from lingual embrasure and the other at right angle. This is used for mesial aspect of maxillary premolars. This is marked with that pin, meaning this is very important for you to remember. After that, we have piggyback wedging. In this, small wedge on top of a larger wedge. First you have to insert the large wedge and then a smaller wedge, or you can go it the other way around. Totally depends on you, but the bottom line is you write this in your exams. Now this is usually preferred for shallow proximal boxes and for closer adaptation. So this was wedging techniques for you all. Now let us understand the different wedge methods. Now when we talk about wedge methods, we are basically referring to methods of tooth separation. So the first one we have here is Elliot separator. This is used for short duration separation. This cannot be used during interproximal procedures. So this is more useful for examination or for final polishing without stabilization. Now the procedure is, you have to adjust the opposing wedges interproximally below the contact area. You can turn the knob. There's a knob on the Elliot separator which is going to proximate the two wedges or two the horns of the Elliot separator. Now here's a diagram, or here's a picture of Elliot separator. This is the knob I was talking about, which after you rotate in a specific direction, it is going to approximate the two ends. We have covered Elliot separator in more detail in one of our previous videos. So if you haven't watched that video, I would suggest you to go there, watch the video, maybe after this video or whenever you want. But another thing is, there are so many videos, informative videos about all the subjects we post on our YouTube channel. I really want you to take full benefit of that. Make sure to binge watch all the videos and just wing it. Just make sure you have all of that data, all of that information consumed. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And now coming to the more important point which we are going to focus on, that is wooden, plastic or metallic wedges. So first let us go through the functions of these. So these wedges are going to ensure matrix band adaptability. The matrix band which we apply is going to properly attach or adhere to the tooth surface, and this is going to prevent restorative material accumulation interproximally or near the gingiva. So that is one of the most important functions of a wedge. Other than that, it is also going to protect the gingival interdental caul, which is the interdental gingiva or papillary gingiva, and this is going to also define our contact, because when we apply wedge, the matrix band receives a contour which is desired for good contact and embrasure architecture. Now it is also going to compensate for matrix thickness or minor tooth drifting. So this is going to stabilize our matrix no matter what thickness it is, and it is also going to prevent our tooth from drifting. Other than that, we are also going to get rubber dam retraction or gingival retraction, and this is also going to minimize moisture in the restoration area, especially from the marginal gingiva, which is the crevicular fluid, right, GCF. It is, again, like I said, it is going to stabilize matrix band during restorative material insertion and protect interproximal gingiva from trauma. This can happen with your burr while you are preparing the the box, the proximal box. So your wedge is going to protect your interproximal gingiva during that. Now let us go through the advantages of these wedges. Like we studied, that wooden wedges swell intraorally, so they are going to adapt properly. Other than that, during anterior teeth restorations, use of a thumb or finger wedging can give us rapid separation, and this amount of separation or this duration is sufficient for tasks like axial wall, mainly finishing or polishing. Now this is also going to improve our retention, and resin wedges is another type which can be molded to fit interdental spaces. These are basically custom wedges which you can make anytime for any patient. And we have a picture of Elliot separator on the bottom left, which we have already gone through. Let us go through a couple of questions which will help us revise this topic. So the first question we have is, what is the advantage of using wooden wedge? The first option is it swells when contacts moisture, which is the correct answer. Let us go through the other options as well. Second option is light transmitting wedge, which is correct for only plastic wedges. The third is shaped according to the anatomy of tooth, which is again for anatomical wedges, not the wooden wedges. And the last one can be reused, which is not correct for any wedge. So the correct answer here is the first option, that it swells when contacts moisture. Let us go through the explanation for this question. So the wooden wedge is most preferred wedge, as it swells when wedge contacts moisture in oral cavity, helping it adapt better in the interdental space. Now the next question we have here is classify dental wedges. Now we know that in the mind map there were two different BCs of classification. The first was shape, and there were two, I guess, and the second was nature of the wedge, which were three, which were wooden, plastic, and metallic, right? But it's always better the entire answer for sure and you're completely confident about it, for which I am going to introduce you to something called as flashcards. So it looks something like this, as I've marked, and this is going to include parts of your mind maps. It can include a few diagrams, pictures or notes, everything which will help you remember or revise quickly small tricky topics. So this is really helpful for quick revisions. You can go through those flashcards right before your exam. And interesting thing which I want to tell you here is, if there are any topics for which flashcards are not provided by the Medi Study Co, you can create your own flashcards. Now this can happen in the Medi Study Go app, which you can download from Play Store or Apple Store. Now with this app, you'll also get access to more mind maps, notes, MCQs, videos, flashcards, everything. So you can create your own flashcards, also go through the ones which you get every day for free. So this app is going to be super helpful for you. Make sure to download it. Finally, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe to the official YouTube channel. Now, other than that, if you want to just quickly test yourself how much you have retained from this video or this topic, you can check out the Instagram handle of Medi Study Co. We regularly post short quizzes about some topics over there, so you can quickly go there on the go. You're just scrolling through stories, you can quickly revise. We have questions with answers and explanations, so make sure to check out that as well. Thank you so much and happy learning.